The workshop was about communities working with local authorities and government. Key points were that really you need to establish a relationship, that if you're in a community group and you're trying to work with the council, people in the council, you need to establish personal relationships with people. Often people in the council feel quite threatened because they only generally meet people when people are complaining about them, so they expect to get a negative response. So establishing a real rapport and relationship is key. I think another issue was about basing what you're doing not on asking them for something and not on everything relying on them agreeing, but making sure that what you're doing is something you're doing anyway and you're getting on with it. And in a sense, you're inviting them to the party rather than pleading to get into their party. I'm not political party, I mean, fun party. And there was something else which was about, often councils want to get involved if you're doing something, but if you're asking them for something, they won't. They'll say no. So it's getting that balance right, so you're somehow creating enough of interest for them to get involved and to get engaged. And at the same time, then in a sense, trading that for saying to them, well, okay, you need to include us in what you're doing, let's be involved in that. So it's like the basic issue was the need to establish relationships, between real relationships with them, and get over the fear on both sides and the kind of turning people into threatening bodies. And the other thing was really just about making sure you're getting on with what you're doing. I guess that was the real strong thing, was actually just because we keep on relying on asking other people, politicians, local authorities, whatever, to do something, and the key when it works is to actually just be doing it. And then say, do you want to take part in this? You don't, you're missing out. It's really getting that party feeling, I guess, seems key. Well, the discussion around the table was very particular, so it was around a particular weir in a particular place and how to get the council behind turning that into real energy, and that focus then around, well, actually you can't just ask the council, you need to have a whole group, you need to work on community building first. It was something about focusing on the local, keeping focused on the particular, on what you're really doing in your own area, and then getting the council to be involved if you can, because they're interested and they're curious and they're going to feel left out if they don't become part of it. But there's something also about having a kind of middle person who can play a kind of referee role between communities and councils. And we're looking at how can we establish that, how can we find a process for somebody to be coming in, to being that middle person who can reassure the council that they're being listened to, reassure the community they're being listened to, and not be playing either side. So it's something about developing that role. I'm not sure how we do it, but that looks like a key role that's needed.